all. This is Dr. Arpana Chaturvedi from the Department of Information Technology. The subject I am taking is Artificial Intelligence, and in this today we will talk about expert system, which comes under Unit 4. In this already we talked about expert system also, and what we have seen that the performance of an expert system is totally based on the expert knowledge which is stored in the knowledge base. So the more knowledge stored in the knowledge base, the more the and better the performance of the system will be. And one of the common example of an expert system is the suggestion of spelling error while typing in the Google search box or in the MS Word. Wherever you type out something, you see that the spell check checks the error and give you the right spelling over there. The alternate spelling you should use over there. So that is how smartly it is working. It is catching that the word which you have written is having spelling error or is not suitable at that in that particular sentence, and on the basis of that checking the thesaurus and the spell check database, it actually raised the error. So why it is happening? Because that much sound the knowledge bases, that much sound the databases, that much sound the data set is. And in the expert system we actually fetch or store the information after getting the information from the expert who is an expert in that particular domain. So the domain expert provides the knowledge, and it provides the knowledge in such a way that whatever query related to the domain will be asked by the non-expert user or the end user, the system should be able to generate the solution. The system should be able to advise the appropriate and right solution. As here it is shown that is the end user gives the input. It's a user interface. This input goes through inference engine to rules engine, go to the knowledge base and just check and deduce the conclusions after checking all the rules, all the knowledges which are there stored in the knowledge base, and later on generate a concluded statement as an advice and return back to the non-expert user. So it is important here to remember that an expert system is not used to replace the human expert. Instead, it is used to assist the human in making a complex decision faster. These systems do not have human capabilities of thinking, and they cannot work on the basis of like you can say their own learnings. They can only work on the basis of whatever the knowledge is being stored in the knowledge base in that particular domain, and the that system will be able to only give answer to the queries which are related to that domain. So we need to remember this also at the same time. And here we are talking about the components of expert system. So if we talk about main core components of expert system on the basis of which expert system work is knowledge base, inference engine and user interface. All these three are having very important role. As you can see over here it's a human expert. He will go to the knowledge engineer, and this knowledge engineer will provide as much knowledge in that particular domain the knowledge engineer can provide. So fetching the information, all sort of information from the knowledge engineer, it stores the information in the knowledge base. Here it's a user. So these two people are working to produce a expert system. It's a human expert who knows how to design an expert system. He has to design an expert system in a particular domain. To design an expert system in a particular domain, he has to refer to the expert who is having expertise in that particular domain. So after having consultation with this expertise, he will be going to produce a knowledge and he will store in a knowledge base. Once the knowledge is stored in the knowledge base, now whenever the user asks the queries through this knowledge base, my this rule engine inference engine will be referring to all the rules which are being stored over here, all the references related to the query given over there, and produces the output. And whatever the output it will produce, that will again go back to the end user through the user interface. This is what is explained over here also, that what is a knowledge base. So knowledge base is basically a place where the data is being stored, and here all domain specific and high quality knowledge is being stored. So knowledge is required to exhibit intelligence, and the success of any expert system majorly depends upon the collection of the information, how accurate and how precise knowledge is being stored in the database is the success of expert system. Because what is a knowledge? The data is collection of facts, and the information is organized as data and facts about the task domain. Data, information and past experience combined together and termed as knowledge. Because what is your knowledge as a human being? So the information which you gathered since this age from different sources, by reading books or by observing the things which are in the environment, which are around us, by experience, by a few examples where you got failed and you learned from your experience, that here from the feedback, that here where you have done the mistake, you gathered some knowledge, and that knowledge helps you to move ahead. Similarly here also, knowledge is a collection of data, information and past experience. And what is a knowledge base? So the component of knowledge base is basically factual and heuristic. So what is a factual knowledge? Factual knowledge is basically the information which is widely accepted by knowledge engineer and scholars in the task domain, in that particular domain. So it is accepted by the engineers or the experts who are having expertise in that particular domain. Whereas heuristic knowledge is about practice, about accurate judgment. It basically evaluate one's ability, and on the basis of which they can perform some guesses. So that is a heuristic knowledge. And this knowledge base is having both factual knowledge as well as heuristic knowledge. So when we talk about knowledge representation, what is that? It is the method which is used to organize and formalize the knowledge in the knowledge base. Means that you are representing the knowledge with the help of predicates, with the help of propositions, wherein so many number of rules are being used, and the information which is lying in the knowledge base in the form of, if some condition is right, then what to do. So they generate a rules. They are having so many number of clauses and so many number of representation of knowledge in the form of rules. So whenever some query comes to the system, it checks that which condition is being satisfied, and if that particular condition is satisfied, then what is to be done. So that is the way knowledge is represented in the knowledge base. Then come, what is knowledge acquisition? So the success of any expert system majorly depends upon the quality of data it is having, quality of knowledge or information it is having, the completeness, how much complete information it is, how much accurate it is. And the knowledge base is formed by reading from various experts or scholars and the knowledge engineers. So it gathers the information from as many experts the system can, as many scholars from different knowledge engineers, so that the accuracy should be 100%. The information should be complete. The quality of information is appropriate, and the system is able to produce the uh, accurate result. So the knowledge engineer is basically a person who with the qualities of empathy, quick learning as well as analyzing the skills. He acquires information from the subject expert by recording the information or by interviewing the person or by observing him at the workplace. In various ways, a human expert goes to the system expert or domain expert to gather the information, and he then categorizes and organizes the information in a much more meaningful way in the form of rules. That is, in the form the knowledge can be represented using proposition or predicates, and using certain if then else rules to be used by inference engine. Because if the rules are being stored in the system, then only it can produce a result. Because whenever you are giving some input to the system, it will ask what is the input, what to do, what is the appropriate condition, what is the value, which is the right rule to be implemented. So the knowledge engineer also monitors the development of the expert system, that how efficiently the system is being developed. So that is why we say that this is a knowledge base. It's a knowledge base, and here is an expert. We have to extract as much good knowledge I can and quality knowledge we can gather through the expert in the knowledge base. So this we have to do as much in a as much better way, as much efficient way, as much like a good way we can gather the information from the expert. That way, that procedure is known as acquiring the knowledge or knowledge acquisition. And when we talk about inference engine, so inference engine plays a very important role, because whenever any input comes to the system, this inference engine is responsible to produce the inferences or conclusions or results. So use of efficient procedure and rules by the inference engine is essential in deducing a correct and flawless solution. In case of knowledge-based expert system, the inference engine acquires and manipulates the knowledge from the knowledge base to arrive to a particular solution. In case of rule-based expert system, it applies rule repeatedly to the fact which are obtained from earlier rule application. Then it adds new knowledge also into the knowledge base if required. Then it resolves the rules or any conflict if lying over there between multiple rules, and checks which all rules are applicable to a particular case, and accordingly it generates the result. So to recommend a solution, the inference engine use the following strategy. One is forward chaining and another is backward chaining. Let's talk about forward chaining. Forward chaining is a strategy of an expert system to answer the question. And what kind of question it asks? What can happen next? Input is over there to ask what can happen next. And here the inference engine follows the chain of condition and derive and finally deduce the outcome from the list of rules which are being stored in the knowledge base. So it considers all the facts and rules and sort them before concluding to a solution. This strategy is followed for working on conclusion, result or effect. For example, prediction of share market status as an effect of change of interest rate. That whenever the rate of interest is changing, what will be the prediction? What will be the share market? So it will keep on checking from all the rules, from the all list of relevant rules. It will keep on checking and deducing the conclusion, inferring the conclusion that if these two facts are true, then this will be the decision. If either of the facts are true, then this will be the decision. And if these two are the decision, then the final decision will be decision 4. So in this way, forward chaining works. Whereas at the same time, when we talk about backward chaining, an expert system tries to find out the answer to a question, why this has happened, why the outcome is like this. There we started in case of forward chaining, that how it has happened, what is how you can reach to that particular conclusion. Here in backward we are saying this is the outcome, how and why this outcome has been reached. So we are going back from the solution towards the facts. So on the basis of what has already happened, the inference engine tries to find out various conditions or factors which are responsible to produce that result. So this strategy is followed for finding out cause or reason. For example, if one person is diagnosed with blood cancer in human being, then it will check that how this blood cancer has been diagnosed. What is the reason of having blood cancer uh, in that particular person? So that is backward chaining. So next is user interface. What is the user interface? User interface is basically responsible to interact between the user and expert system. And the expert system itself is responsible to reach out to certain conclusion with the help of inference engine. So it is generally a natural language processing so as to be used by the user who is well versed in the task domain. And the user of the expert system need not be necessarily an expert in artificial intelligence. That is an end user. User can be any user who is asking queries. But whenever the end user is asking queries from the expert system, the system should be having that ability to reach to the appropriate conclusion. And to ask a query from the expert system, we need an interface with the medium of which the user will be interacting with the expert system. So this user interface explains how the expert system has arrived to a particular recommendation, and the explanation may appear in the following form. First is verbal narration in natural language, listing of rule numbers displayed on the screen. The user interface make it easy to trace the credibility of the deductions. So what we say that the requirement of efficient expert system or user interfaces, it should help user to accomplish their goal in shortest possible way. It should be designed to work for users existing or desired work practices. Its technology should be adaptable to user requirement, not the other way around, and it should make efficient use of user input. So on the basis of this, we have seen all the components of expert system. Now we'll see that what are the expert system technology. So when we talk about expert system technology, it includes the expert system development environment, various tools to develop an expert system, and a shell. So if we talk about these all technology, then expert system development environment is the first technology which includes hardwares and tools. If we talk about the environment, development environment where we can develop an expert system, so what all components will be lying in that development environment? One will be your system, that is either workstation or mini computer or mainframe. Then a programming language with the help of which you will be going to program or design a front end. It can be a Lisp or a Prolog language. Then the database where you will be going to store the data fetched or acquired from the expert systems. That is a large database which can support to the user or programmer to store a large amount of data related to that particular domain. Now, if we talk about tools, this is the second technology we use. So they reduce the efforts and cost involved in developing an expert system to large extent. Reason behind the powerful editors and debugging tools with multi-windows help you out to design a better expert system. They provide you with rapid prototyping. They have inbuilt definition of models, knowledge representation, and inference engine design, which helps you to design the expert system in a much more better way. And the third one is shells. So shell is nothing but an expert system without knowledge base. Shell provides the developer with knowledge acquisition, inference engine, and user interface with the explanation facility. The few shells which are used to design an expert system are Java Expert Systems Shell, which is also known as JESS. They provide fully developed Java API for creating an expert system. Vidwan, a shell developed as National Center for Software Technology, Mumbai in 1993. It enables knowledge encoding in the form of if-then rules. So these are the three technologies which are used to design an expert system. And if we develop an expert system, what are the basic steps or a life cycle to develop an expert system? If we look into that, so the different phases to develop an expert system are, first of all, as we do in usually designing any kind of software, there is a software life cycle, SDLC. Similarly, expert system are also having some steps, some phases which are required to develop an expert system. So first of all, we need to identify the problem domain. Then we'll be designing a system. Then we develop the prototype. Then we test and refine the prototype. After that, we develop and complete the expert system, and at the end, after implementing, we will be maintaining the system. So one by one we see that what do you mean by identify problem domain. So that is, the problem must be suitable for an expert system to solve it. it should not be any domain. It should be a domain for which you can design an expert system, related to which you will be going to get the experts, related to which you can gather the information, acquire the information, and you can finish the project. So you will be able to find out the expert in that particular domain who will help you out to provide the information to complete the project. And it establishes cost effectiveness also of the system. Once you identify the problem, that yes, this is the problem domain for which we can design an expert system, it is feasible to design an expert system for that particular domain, you start designing the system, which is step 2. So in this you will identify that which all technologies you will be using, what will be the hardware softwares you will be using, which programming language you will be using, which database you will be using, what will be the different tools you will be working with, which shell. So identifying that technology you know and establish the degree of integration between the other systems and databases, you realize how the concept can represent the domain knowledge best. After this, you develop the prototype, which will be having a rule in the form of if then else rules. So from knowledge base, the knowledge engineer works to acquire domain knowledge from the expert first of all. That gathered knowledge has to be represented in the form of if then else rule. Once you design a prototype, you will test and refine the prototype. The knowledge engineer uses sample cases to test whether the prototype is working properly or not, or there are certain deficiency. The performance is not that much better, and on the basis of critics or feedbacks, it will be going to like implement it in a much more better way, and it will improvise the system so that end user, when test the prototype of the expert system, will get the efficient, better and accurate result. Next is develop and complete the expert system. Once you tested also, you have removed all deficiencies, you have chosen the tool, are having a prototype which is properly checked. Then you test and ensure the interaction of the expert system with all elements of its environment, including end user, database and other information system. Then you will be documenting the expert system project properly and train the user to let him know how the expert system is to be used. Once this entire work get ready, then you will be going to implement it, and later on in future you need to maintain the system, to update the knowledge in regular interval, to review the knowledge in regular interval, to cater for new interfaces with other information system as those systems keep on evolving. So we say that these are the steps which are necessary to design any expert system. Like if we talk about one of the expert system, that is Mycin, then you see the working of this expert system, that firstly expert system should be fed with expert knowledge, and in the case of Mycin, the human expert specialized in the medical field of bacterial infection will be able to provide the information about all the bacterial infections, all the causes or all the symptoms behind the infection, bacterial infection, and other knowledge if required in that domain. And the knowledge base of the Mycin is should be keep on updating successfully in order to test it. The doctor provides you a new problem to it. The problem is to be identified the presence of bacteria by inputting the details of a patient, including the symptoms, including the current condition as well as medical history. These will be the input, and the system is having all information which let you know whether the person is infected with the bacteria or not. So the moment you provide the symptoms and the current condition and medical history, the system should be able to predict, it should conclude this, whether the patient is having bacterial infection or not. So the expert system will need a questionnaire to be filled by the patient to know the general information about the patient, such as gender, age, etc. Now the system has collected all the information. It will find the solution for the problem by applying all if-then rules, using the inference engine and using the facts which are being stored in the knowledge base collected or acquired by the expert. And in the end, it will provide a response to the patient using the user interface, that whether the user is having bacterial infection or not. So Here the three primary participants in the building of expert system are: one, expert is the one who is having expertise in that particular domain for which I am designing an expert system. Then knowledge engineer is the person who gathers the knowledge from the domain experts and then going to convert that into code using programming languages, and just producing all the information in the form of rules, if then rules, and storing it into the knowledge base. End user is the person who will keep on asking the queries, who is not an expert, who is a normal user, who can just look for the advice or solution for a particular problem, and working on the expert system needs the solution or advice for his queries, which are which can be complex also. So this is how the expert system works. So we can say that what are the different benefits of expert system. First is availability. They are easily available due to mass production of software. Then it will be having less production cost. This makes them affordable and highly reproducible also. They offer a great speed. They reduce the amount of work which might be done individually if it is manual. Less error rate, because error rate is low as compared to human error. There are possibilities of more errors if human being checks or predicts the disease on the basis of the input given to them, whereas because the system is already fed with the sufficient knowledge base, so there is a less priority of occurrence of an error. Reducing risk, they can work in the environment dangerous to human. They can be used for risky places where the human presence is not safe. Then a steady response, the performance of these system remains steady as it is not affected by the emotions, tensions or fatigue. Then we can conclude at the end that an expert system is an interactive and reliable computer based decision system which uses facts and heuristic to solve any sort of complex problem. And the key components of expert system we have seen are user interface, inference engine and knowledge base, whereas the key participants in AI based expert system are domain expert and knowledge engineer, including end user. The improved decision quality, reduced cost, consistency, reliability, speed are some key benefits of an expert system. An expert system cannot give creative solution and not be costly to be maintained. And an expert system can be used for broad application like stock market, warehousing, HR, etc. And with this, I thank you. Have a nice day.